For those that know a lot about Renko, you probably think this video is pure madness. I've lost the plot. What does he know about Renko charts? Well, it's my job to investigate all options and give them to you, at least to try out yourselves and investigate further. This one is all about adding volume to your Renko charts, and you're going to say, well, it's impossible. Well, I'm going to show you how to do it. So with that, let's get into it. So for the purposes of illustration, I'm going to be using trading view charts, and I'm going to be picking on a particular stock. It's Google, ticker GOOG, and this is going to be the basis for this video. Now, got a standard daily Heikin-Ashi chart in front of you for that stock. Now what we need to do is convert it into a Renko chart. So show you quickly how to do that. Up to the top, bring the drop down of all the different chart types, hit the Renko button. That's not the block size we need, so we need to adjust the block size and also the time frame. I'm going to drop this down to a 1 minute chart here because that's going to give me more regular signals. And like I said, that is too smaller block size for me at the moment, so I'm going to experiment around. I actually have worked this out on the sidelines, and I've got videos to show you that in the Renko playlist that will help you come up with a block size. But let's, for the argument of this video, go with a $1 block size. So as you can see, that's certainly changed the picture of the chart. We're going to pull that out. Now what you see at the moment, the volume has still stayed on the bottom there, and the big takeaway here is, and if you're new to Renko charts you might not realize this, that Renko is all about price action, not about time. So this down the bottom is really useless to us, so we don't want that. It's not helping us in any way, shape or form, so we are going to remove it. And we can click on that and then just hit the remove button and it's gone. But we need to add volume. How are we going to add volume into this chart? Well, the clue is in what I've just said, and remember I said it's all about price action. So that allows us to use a tool, and it's called volume at price. Now normally we see volume coming down on the bottom axis, but we want it up the side axis to allow us to analyze the volume at price. And remember, once we've set our block size, we can then focus in on the volume at the key price level. So how do we do that? Well, we go up to indicators at the top, pull that down, and then we start typing. And we're going to start by typing visible, range, volume, profile. Now there are other versions and slight plays on the volume by price setup. I like to use this one. You can see it's in there, visible, range, volume, profile. Click on it and it should add it to your charts, and there you go. We need to make a few tweaks to the setup first of all. So this is all about making your chart easier to read and use. So in the top left we now have the indicator VRVP. We go to the cog, hit that down. Here's the settings. Now as you notice, they're quite thick at the moment. This is down to personal preference and how granular you want to get, but I like a bit more detail in the rows, so I changed the row size to 50, and as you can see, I think it's a bit more precise. It gives you a better shape to the volume curve on that side. We've got up and down, and they're illustrated with these different colors. So if we go onto the style bit, you can see blue represents up volume and yellow down volume. So that's giving you a clue to the weight of the the buyers and the sellers inside that particular price action period. Volume area, well, that's going to set it over on your chart to encompass more of the page or not. We'll leave that as it is. We just want to check that the POC button is ticked. That's called point of controls. That's where all, as well, it's obvious, you can see it, it's where all the big volume is on that window that you are looking at. We want it on the right. If you want to change the width of the box, you can if you want. We're going to leave it all the same there, and we're going to hit OK. Now I suppose the weakness of using it, this version, the VRVP, is it's only going to look at the volume over the period that you've got in front of your screen. So take a particular time period that you want to use and analyze. Now, I use the rules of technical analysis to create this, where remember it's broken into trends, long term, medium term and short term. And as I'm more of a short term trader, I like to look at the more media period. So I'm looking back 1 month to 2 months I have data, or even 3 months that we've got on here. So we can see February down there over on the left, and to me that's good enough. So we've got the point of control going right through that area, and you can see how that marries in to these, peaks, in the price, the support and resistance. It's straight through that area. So that's telling you that around about $105, $106 is a key price area. And then once we put it together with other tools and other technical analysis, we can say that's like a double top down there. It doesn't want to break through the point of control there. Then we could expect the price to come down. Now, how do we use that volume over here? Well, have a look at the shape there that's been built out over time. We expect that to move quickly from the $106, $105 area. We got a couple of bars either side. Expect to move quickly to the next big area, which is not that much bigger, but it's around about $94, $95, and that's through here. And again, we've got a double bottom playing out, and then it moves on back up to the bigger volume. It stays in there over time, creates this point of control like we've said, and then it's broken on up through there. And again, look at that volume. There's no volume down in here, and then we've got this number around about $118, $119, where there was a lot of buying action because it's all blue. And again, we've got this shape creating and just starting to build out. We've got some selling coming in there. So again, we would maybe expect the price, if the sellers get hold, to take it back down to this level where it might slow down. Or if there's a more dramatic sell-off, again, it's down to the point of control level. So, this is a great tool to add on to your Renko charts, especially when you time it in with price action like we're seeing, tops and bottoms, heads and shoulders, breakouts, that sort of thing, or other indicators, stochastics, DMIs, awesome oscillators, what you want to add in there to confirm these signals. Then it becomes a very useful support and resistance target tool. Now please remember that last chart that we looked at was purely a look back at what had happened. So it was obvious that we could look at the volume, by the price, and draw conclusions around how it could break up, down, move, etc. in accordance with the volume action. You've got to remember that this volume at price setup is dynamic. It's going to be changing all the time. Okay, so it's going to be playing out, and you've got to remember that to factor this in. So it's not as easy as it looked like on that last chart. Sometimes it's not as transparent, so that is why I always suggest adding in further indicators. Now, this is a totally made up setup. Go and play with it and see if it works if you want. I've added a stochastic at the bottom where I've just taken the percentage K. I'm looking for the price to break up through 20 or down through 80 to, if it's through the 20, buying, down through the 80, selling. And I've put a 20 period moving average on there. I'm saying if the price is above that with the blocks, and I'll get a signal, then I'm going to buy into it. And then I'm going to go over to that volume at the moment. So at the moment we would be up in this zone here, and we can see that the technical analysis indicator is giving us a sell signal. It's broken down for 80, but it's above its moving average. So maybe we would wait until this price has moved. Let's just assume that that carries on to here. We can see the volume now. I'd expect, like remember I said, it's dynamic, so I'd expect the yellow volume, which is the down volume, to get bigger in this zone here, and we might start to see some here. And this bigger volume bar, maybe to come out here a bit more, and then as the price gets to here, we will be looking for the price action around it. Is it going to bounce from there and go back up? Well, maybe that indicator there is telling us that, and we'll wait for that to happen. Or if it breaks down, we know, looking at the volume profile, there's no volume in that period, and the next stop is back into our zone where we've got the point of control around the $106, $107. So it's a useful guide to setting your targets and finding support and resistance levels on the chart, and like I said, marrying it into price patterns, then adding it into the indicators and putting it all together, you can get a pretty strong Renko trading strategy system. So there you go, something to try out in your Renko charts. I use it quite successfully in my chart analysis. It does help find support and resistance areas and possible target zones as well. So a useful consideration if you're building out Renko charts and you're looking for a volume type answer. Remember, it's by price, not time, so always factor that into your thinking. And if you've liked this sort of analysis, you're new to Renko, want to learn more, I've built a very comprehensive playlist on my YouTube channel that takes you through all you need to know about Renko charts and trading, from how to set the block size, time periods, the whole lot. It's all in there, and that is coming up right now.